guys. Hopefully you had a great weekend. I'm going to just kind of hang out for a few seconds here and wait for a few more people to pop in. I just dropped a link over there on the Discord side. I don't know what YouTube is doing these days. They haven't been too nice to me lately. Check in and say hi, and I'll definitely say hi back. Oh, gonna get it all done today. Today's gonna be a busy day. Lots of stuff to do in the shop. Lots of stuff to do in town. Lots of stuff to do right here. Okay, so if you are watching for the very first time, I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong. If you're watching for later, you're not watching the live. This is going to be about weekend preps and what people's ideas about them were and what they got accomplished this weekend. And some of the ideas are actually pretty ingenious. So we're going to go ahead and cover all those things. Also, if you have not hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button, now is a good time to do that. There's going to be more content, obviously, different types of videos, different drawings, and obviously more lives. I try to do one every single day around this time. Okay, so getting right into it, weekend preps. So, like I've told you guys before, I'm part of this one group that where I can ask them questions and they'll give me a buttload of answers. Like, there's a lot of people in this group. It's very opinionated, but generally they have a solid backing in the preparedness world, and they give good answers. They give pretty good answers. Good morning, Hicktown, honey. Looks like your first row is number 2. Let's see who's going to be the turd. Who's going to be the turd? I don't care what the little man says. He says there's 5 people in here, but I don't care what he says. So, getting right into it, I raised the question. I said, weekend preps can be a great way to get ahead of the week. You might consider stocking your pantry, organizing your workspace, or tackling minor home repairs to streamline your upcoming days. These small tasks not only boost your productivity, but also provide a sense of accomplishment. Get that dopamine hit. Andy, you're the turd. What's going on, bro? But you'd get that dopamine hit from accomplishing these tiny tasks. The question I laid to them was, are you planning to work on any preps this weekend? And let's see here. The first one was kind of unique. So you guys know I only have 19 minutes left on this live stream because of what I'm doing and where I'm at. Let's see. Carla Robinson said she's going to round up escaped horses, taking mineral to one group of cattle, and weeding the garden. That sounds like a pretty full weekend to me. I don't know about you, but it is what it is. Terry says, I finally got my new canner after a teenage son used my old tried and true one for a science project. I'm canning taco meat and chicken thighs tomorrow, which this would obviously be Saturday. Trying not to be mad at him. He converted one of my riding mowers to run. Stupid truck. He converted one of my riding mowers to run on straight ethanol and took the deck off so it looks more like a 4-wheeler, only slower. He used my canner to distill the fuel. Probably illegal, but he's prepping too, I guess. Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. Her son. Oh my God, that's quite a thing. It's quite a thing. Yosemite Debbie says that she ordered more first aid and medical supplies using their $200 insurance allowance stock, and also taking stock of freezer items. Guys, that's actually pretty interesting because, she says that she's ordered medical supplies using a quarterly insurance allowance. Now, I don't know if you know this, but there are some insurance companies out there that will allow you a certain amount of money. It's basically free money. And it's all about preventative health or preventative measures or health. They just call it preventative health. And they allow you, do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat if you have one of these plans. But these plans are set up so that you can buy like vitamins, you can buy health supplies. You can buy first aid items. You can buy pretty much anything on their list. And with using your health care or insurance credits. It's pretty interesting because you literally just use the card they give you. And it's free. It's absolutely free. Looks like Andy says, I got my LifePod 100 amp hour battery installed in my garden greenhouse, set up this weekend. I got you. Oh, the LifePod that little baby greenhouse that you put on your counter. I don't know what the LifePod is. But obviously you're running. What are you using? Your 100 amp hour battery to run the fans? I don't know. You put a battery in your garden. Andy, you just told me you put a battery in your garden. No, I see it now. Greenhouse. So it must be for fans. It must be for the fans. I'll check the chat here in a second. All right. So Gloria says, I'm getting more containers planted with veggies and herbs and catching up on pantry organization. Yeah, this goes to one of the things that people are doing is they're buying totes and they're planting stuff in them instead of paying. It's actually cheaper to buy a giant tote than it is to buy a planter. It's kind of mind-blowing where they're getting this cost analysis so that they can make money, and it's unfortunately starting to show that it's literally starting to show that some of these companies out here have been taking advantage of that thing we can't speak of in order to continue to make money at, I won't say money they don't need, it's a business, I get it. What I'll say is that they're continuing to make more money than they would normally make by not adjusting for that thing that is not happening anymore. Let's see here. Andy says lithium iron phosphate. I use low voltage pumps, fans, and lights. Gotcha. And hopefully you've got it hooked up to some kind of solar collector, right? Let's see here. Iron Pearl says, might sound silly, but we're maintaining our home by looking for anything on the roof that might need patching, cleaning out downspouts, and installing gutter guards. Absolutely, 100%. It is what you're maintaining your home, and if shelter is one of the key indicators for survival, then yeah, you're maintaining your shelter. So it's definitely a good idea. I would love to know if she was like doing any water catchment system, because that's what I would be doing. Let's see here. Rose says trying to get patio deck area organized, working on garden. I got you. Taking care of your home, taking care of your shelter. It is, believe it or not, part of preparedness. Because I mean, if you're not taking care of that roof that's over your head, then it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. You're going to have all these preps and stuffs, gear and items and all this crazy stuff, and yeah, it's not going to be. You won't have any place to keep it for a long period of time. Yes, 700 watts of solar panels. Wow. I just got a little bit of a solar power Woody out there, bro. That's a lot of juice. All right, so we're gonna move on to what do we got here? The next one. That's right. I've got the mighty local prepper clipboard out, guys. You know it. Let's see here. So Mark says that he's completing a repair on our ham radio HF antenna. I'm guessing he must have had some kind of windstorm come through and damage his antenna. Kevin says, and it's funny too. Staying on the whole radio thing, one of the things that I was able to pick up, I picked up a reasonably new CB radio a couple weeks back. I need to do something with it. It's the kind that requires an antenna. It's not a handheld, but I picked it up for $6. at a thrift store, I think. It was either a thrift store or it was a damn truck. It was either a thrift store or it was a yard sale or something like that. So basically don't throw the baby out with the bathwater when you start thinking about communications, because CB radios, they were huge in the 70s, and even the truck drivers use them. You can get a lot of information from truck drivers if you just stop and listen. And there's no license required to operate them as well. Hickdown Honey says, I did a deep clean on the house and got a few cleaning extras on the shelves. There we go. Keeping that workspace clean, lady. Keeping that workspace clean. And I'll be honest with you, it feels good when you've accomplished a task, regardless if it's building something, working on something, cleaning something, maintaining something. You're going to get that sense of satisfaction. You're going to get that dopamine hit from accomplishing something that you didn't accomplish yesterday. You're going to get it. It's a good feeling to have. And you sleep pretty well at night knowing that everything's taken care of. Let's see here. Kevin says, I'll be organizing under the bed and closet storage. When somebody says something like that, that means that they know that there's a problem with junk being under the bed, and there's a problem with it's like they just I'm imagining like that person that opens the door slowly and throws stuff into it and slams the door. So let's see here. Jason says, check the news. Why would we check the news, or is that what you did this weekend, Jason? Please reply. Also, guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. It draws more people in here. I appreciate you. Attack on the West Coast. What kind of attack, Jason? What type of attack on the West Coast? Did the Russians come and get us? I'm literally being facetious, because this is what we call sensationalism. So I guess in 10 minutes, when I'm done with this live stream, I'll look at the news. A terrorist attack. What kind of terrorist attack on the West Coast? Because I'm on the East Coast, and it's not really going to affect my preparedness life. It's not that I don't care. It's just that we have to, and I'm not saying you're doing this, I'm really not. We have to be more aware that news in general is not good for us. It used to be something where we sat down at the end of the day with our TV trays and we ate and we like watched Tom Brokaw, and the evening news, and we watched that. First we watched the local news for half an hour to an hour, and then the evening news would come on, and then we would watch that, and then after that was done, then okay, we got the evening news, and then we moved on with our lives. We did something else. If we were kids, we might have went outside until the street lights came on, something. But the reality is that that's how we used to do it. What's up, West Virginia Pappy? What kind of terrorist attack, Jason? Was it boots on the ground? Was it something that goes boom in the night? And I'm using these words generically, not to placate you, but because we're on YouTube and I can only say certain things. I'm interested. I'm just not interested enough to stop what I'm doing to go, oh my God. So I can give CNN a couple of clicks, or even Fox News, that kind of thing. All right, let's see here. Tabitha says, we are preparing the ground for a pool upgrade. Okay. We have always had an in-ground pool, but built a new off-grid cabin and tried a smaller above-ground pool last year and loved the spot. Water temps stay cool, so we are sizing it up. We'll also be building an outdoor living room to go with our outdoor kitchen and dining area, installing a pergola, P-E-R-G-O-L-A, swing also. Just more fun, leisurely stuff we can knock off the to-do list. That's pretty cool. I really love digging into some of these things that they talk about, because it's like we're building an outdoor living room to go with our outdoor kitchen and dining area. Absolutely love it. I would love to have an outdoor kitchen. I'm probably going to build one at some point on the property in North Carolina. I just love the idea of cooking outside. It's so simplistic. And then what we got here, we got Jamie Hawthorne. He's going to be doing car repairs and basic maintenance. I think it's easy sometimes to focus on needing a ton of food or water stored, etc. But there is an aspect to financial and everyday preparations to make sure you aren't pulling off or putting off maintenance. Basic maintenance of your existing items will make them last longer and is financially beneficial. 100%. And I am guilty as charged. I've got this little thing on the Explorer saying, oil change required, not soon, but required. And I think it's I need to get it done. I need to get out to grandma's house and get this thing back up on the ramp, and just change the oil and filter, and just be, that's the funny thing about vehicles in general. As long as you you change that oil about every 3,000 miles, and as long as you keep tires on it, you don't have a heavy foot, these vehicles are going to last for a long time. In today's vehicle market, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. Let's see here. Nate Petrosky has an off-grid outdoor kitchen. I love it. And they're not hard to set up. They're really not hard to set up. As long as you have some kind of like overhead to keep the stove. Well, technically, you don't even need that. I mean, I guess it depends on how Barney you want to get about it. All you really need is just a sink that drains out someplace, a way to have water, so that you can wash vegetables or get water to boil or whatever it may be. I mean, and so there's so many ways to make an off-grid kitchen. It's just mind blowing. I think it actually, to actually be considered like an off grid or outdoor kitchen, really all you need is some counter space, some counter space outside, and you can probably get yourself one of them little propane stoves and put it on the counter, and I think it's got to have a sink too. So you got to, cut out your little space for a nice deep sink, to do the dishes in, and it just gets me all warm and fuzzy inside. Thinking about cooking in an off-grid outdoor kitchen. If you guys like that idea, do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat. It'll help draw people in. We're only going to be here for another 3-4 minutes. But I like all of those ideas. They make my head go, yeah, let's do that. I'm really kind of stuck on this whole thing that is going on the West Coast. 2, I'm an inside girl. I got you, Hicktown, honey. I got you. Obviously I'll check it out here in about 3 minutes. But, it kind of leads me to, I had sent a message to the Patreons. I try to send them a message about something every morning, Monday through Friday. And, basically I've completely disconnected from the mainstream media over the last, 4 or 5 days, maybe 4 days. We'll say 4 days, and it's just been so nice, not having to worry about all the crazy stuff and political stuff and who's trying to get at who and stuff like that. Let's see here. But you know, it is what it is. So let's see here. Cooper says, like, what do you think of America? Are you expecting a shift? Okay, kind of off subject, but we're towards the end of the stream, so I'll play. Um, do I expect a shift? You know, I, I'm hopeful that there is a shift, a shift back to the things that are right. And when I say right, I don't mean politically right. I mean just right for America. You know, that's one of the reasons. If you guys didn't know this, I have a lot of hats, and I always try to have a hat with American flag on it. You know, I did my time in the Marines, 20 years. I was a DoD contractor for 13 years. Did some bad stuff in bad places. None of that matters, because at a certain point you realize that you're just a tool. And when you know that you've been used, and don't get me wrong, I signed up for it and had some really good times. But when you know that you've been used, you get this feeling in your stomach. It's not good. And unfortunately, the way the world in America is right now, everybody feels like they're being used. They're being used when you watch the TV. You're being used when you go to the grocery store. You're being used when you have to spend $22 on a couple of chicken sandwiches for you and your girlfriend. You're being used. And that's what has to change. Some of these companies are taking advantage of the situation. Not all of them. And I would say the majority of them are not. But some of them are. Our government is taking advantage of these situations. We are being used. We're the little puppets, and the puppet masters are manipulating our lives. And I'm hoping that people will wake up to this. So the rest of the people like us in the preparedness community that were just these conspiracy theorists that just turned out to be right all this time don't have to suffer any longer. So, let's see here. Hickdown says can't find anything on the attack on the coast. Yeah, I mean, that's why I don't leap to it. Cooper says, I don't think people will wake up, unfortunately. It's going to be incremental. There are a lot of people out there that just don't give a damn. They just want to live their cushy lives. And rightfully so, I understand. But they want to live their lives. They don't want to be bothered by anything short of complaining about things. And, you know, it's there's a divide. There's a divide that may never be healed here in this country. So, all right, let's see here, and it will impact the people who are awake. It's always going to impact us. Being someone who is awake, especially in the preparedness community, means that you're constantly going to be worrying about what's happening down the road. There is a certain sense of it. There are psychological studies that have been done on preppers, and they're not pretty. None of them are pretty. No prepper wants to believe what these people are writing about us in these psychological journals and psychological papers. But it doesn't mean it's not true. So, all right, guys, I am out of time. If you like what I'm doing, make sure that you guys hit that thumbs up button for me, guys. It does help. And if you want to find out more about this and you're new, hit that subscribe button. I'm here 5 days a week. Sometimes here, sometimes I'm in the studio. We'll see what happens, you know. Do you think we are in the beginning of the end like the Roman Empire fell? Yes. Yes, I do. But it doesn't mean it has to end that way. All right, guys. As usual, if you want to support the channel, there are links below someplace. Go there, spend your money, be adults. And as usual, stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye. Hey, share this video. Share this video. Later.